Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss? Where today I'll be sharing some news about the future of Star Trek, which includes what looks like an early renewal for one series, as well as another Star Trek movie being planned for the future that will be unlike any before it. I also wanted to end this video with a theory I have about the origin of one of the characters on the series Star Trek Prodigy, the brand new animated series that debuted last week, which I'm covering weekly on this channel. Before I get started, if you could please hit the like button on this video, I would really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this content, please think about subscribing. Today I begin with some news about the future of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This series is set to debut in 2022, and we still do not know exactly when, but it looks like the show may already have an order for Season 2. Reported by the website SpoilerTV.com, the production of Season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds is listed on an industry resource named Production Weekly that lists upcoming TV and movie productions, and it states that filming will begin in Toronto in February of 2022. Filming for Season 1 of Strange New Worlds also took place in Toronto and also started in February of 2021 and was able to mostly finish by August, with additional reshoots completing in October, so this would line up with the schedule set in the first season. The studio has yet to confirm this information, but that may be because they are waiting to formally announce this renewal once they are able to say when the first season will air, which should be very soon. Or they may have planned to release this information right before filming started in February, similarly to how the studio did not announce the renewal for the third season of Star Trek Picard until it started filming after the filming of the second season had commenced. Star Trek Discovery begins its fourth season in a few weeks, and that will be followed by the highly anticipated second season of Picard in February of 2022. Most expect the first season of Strange New Worlds to air right after Picard, which would put its debut sometime in May of the same year. With the uncertainty of the COVID situation across the globe, studios are being extra careful when announcing or releasing new material, which could be another reason why we have not heard anything Paramount, forgive the pun. For those of you not familiar with this new series, it is set to follow the adventures of the USS Enterprise before Captain Kirk takes over, and will instead follow Anson Mount as Captain Pike, reprising the part he played on Discovery. Joining him once again will be Rebecca Romijn as the character Una, or Number One, a part first portrayed by Majel Barrett Roddenberry on the original series, as well as Ethan Peck as a younger, less experienced version of Spock, who of course was played by Leonard Nimoy. They will not be the only legacy characters returning to the franchise, as the parts of Nurse Christine Chapel, Dr. Mbenga, and Nyota Uhura have been recast with younger actors. Joining them will be at least 3 new characters: Andorian Officer Hemmer, Security Officer Erica Ortegas, as well as a character named La'an Noonien Singh, who is reported to be a descendant of the infamous Khan Noonien Singh, played by Ricardo Montalban. The character Hemmer also is very interesting, as he is playing a member of a subspecies of Andorians known as Anar, that were introduced in the series Enterprise, who have telepathic abilities and are blind, and the actor who is playing the part, a man named Bruce Horak, is also blind. Series producer Akiva Goldsman has promised that Strange New Worlds will return to the Planet of the Week format of the original series, which saw the crew travel to seek out new life each episode and did not use serialized overarching storylines. The bridge of the Enterprise, while shown on the series Discovery, was redesigned for this series, and the crew were given new uniforms as well, so expect a new look when the cast returns. Now on to some movie news, as it looks like Star Trek and Paramount may have as many as 3 different movies in the works. In March of 2021, it was announced that a script for a new film was in development by writer Kalinda Vasquez, who has served as a writer on Discovery among many other things. Not much is still known about this project, but shortly after this was announced, Paramount also listed June 9th, 2023 as a release date for an untitled Star Trek movie, but that this would not necessarily be the script being written by Kalinda Vasquez. Then, in July of 2021, it was revealed that WandaVision producer-director Matt Shakman was hired to direct a Star Trek movie using a script by Lindsay Beer and Geneva Robertson DeWart. Most believe that this film is the one set to be released in 2023, as it is still listed to begin production in the spring of 2022. But now it looks like an animated film, possibly based on the characters set in the new series Prodigy, may also be in the franchise's future. This is due to comments made to The Hollywood Reporter by the new head of Paramount Pictures, Brian Robbins, about the series Prodigy. When asked about what kind of future he sees for their animated projects like Prodigy, he said the following: "The data is pretty obvious. We're going to be patient because we think the show is fantastic and creatively just exceeds all expectations. I have no doubt that we'll be doing more. Alex and I have talked about what the theatrical film version of this show is and the likes of that. We're really excited. Ramsey and our Nick team could not be more thrilled to explore more." It is important to note that before taking over as head of Paramount Pictures, Brian Robbins was in charge of Nickelodeon and was one of the champions of Prodigy early on. So now that he is the head of the entire studio, we can expect a big push for this type of content. He cited the success of the Into the Spider-Verse movie, released by Sony in 2018, as an example of an animated film that could have success across many age groups, and I believe that a good Star Trek movie could have a similar effect. But regardless of the success of their current and future animated projects, which includes Star Trek Lower Decks, which just finished its second season, he stated that they are still in the business of making live-action films. He said the following about the company's future movie plans, including when we will have an official movie with a release date. Where we will go with the franchise next theatrically is crucial to the health of the overall franchise. There's no doubt that big theatrical movies are the beacon that ignites franchises. We're in it and I don't really have anything to say because I'm waiting for the development to be delivered. I can't wait to get going on it, but we're not there yet, but we need to get there soon. We all know the long history of getting another Star Trek movie made, after the release of the last movie in the Kelvinverse storyline, Star Trek Beyond in 2016. Besides a direct sequel to the movie being planned, which would have seen Chris Hemsworth return as George Kirk, a 1930s mobster-style movie that would have been written by Quentin Tarantino was also in the plans at one point, as well as a movie written by Fargo TV series creator Noah Hawley, which as of 2019 looked to be well on its way to being made, but was ultimately canceled. But with a new head at Paramount that seems to be very excited about the future of Star Trek, animated and otherwise, it looks like 2022 will be a busy year for Star Trek fans. Finally, I wanted to discuss this theory I have about one of the characters on Star Trek Prodigy and their origin. If you have not seen the pilot episode, I highly encourage you to do so if you are able to, but one of the mysteries of the show are the origins of the main characters. There are a few characters which we do not even know the species of, and one is Murph, a gelatinous creature who speaks in a language that even a Federation Universal Translator is not able to decipher. After watching the pilot, I have a theory as to what Murph actually is, and I believe that he is an evolved bioneural gel pack that was used by the Voyager during their time in the Delta Quadrant. If you're not familiar with the technology, the Voyager was one of the first Federation ships to use this type of technology, which was essentially an update of the isolinear chip technology we saw used on Federation ships before this. These gel packs were made of neural fibers surrounded in a blue gel with metallic interfaces above and beneath them, which allowed for faster computations than were available with isolinear chip technology. But since they had an organic component to them, they sometimes acted like a living organism, such as when they became infected with a virus created from a cheese that Neelix made in the episode Learning Curve. Besides looking sort of like a blue gel pack, the scene that really made me realize that Murph may be a gel pack comes towards the end of the first episode of Prodigy when the crew is trying to escape. They are unable to fire the photon torpedoes until Murph jumps on the console and is somehow able to activate them. If he was an evolved form of this technology, he would still be able to interface with the Federation systems like he did as a gel pack and be able to access the torpedoes. It would also make sense as to why the Universal Translator is not able to translate his speech, since if he is a ship component, he may be using a different type of communication than spoken language, similar to the computer code-like language of the Binars. If he does turn out to be a gel pack, it would be a really cool callback to a very interesting aspect of Voyager that was never really touched on, and being in the Delta Quadrant gives Star Trek Prodigy the opportunity to circle back to ideas that first appeared on Voyager that were never given the time to be fleshed out. But what do you think? Could Murph be a gel pack, or is he something else? Well, that is all I have today, but let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Please hit that like button if you have enjoyed it, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?